What is up, guys? It's your boy Kibrul MMA. It's the one we've all been waiting for. My detailed prediction on Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira. Right, I am picking Alex Pereira by third round KO. Right, this is gonna be an interesting one. Right, so they have history together, obviously. By the way, they've taken on each other this weekend at UFC 281, Adesanya versus Pereira. And Adesanya versus Pereira, and I'm here to break it down. If you're new here, please like and subscribe. I forgot to do all that, but yeah, right. So obviously, you've got to trace it back to the kickboxing roots. Now, Izzy likes to make a lot of comparisons in this fight. In their fights, he likes to talk a lot about him when a reporter brings him up. Now, obviously, in the press conference where he fought Cannonier, obviously Sean Strickland brought up the fact, because obviously on that press conference, the main event was Izzy versus Cannonier, and one of the fights on the main card was Sean Strickland versus Alex Pereira, which was the number one contender bout for the belt. And Sean Strickland was trolling Izzy the entire time. And one of the things that he said was he brought up the fact that Alex Pereira knocked out Adesanya in their second fight in kickboxing. And this got Izzy really mad. And the main thing that Izzy says every time that is brought up is, "Did you watch the fight? Did you watch the fight? Go watch the fight." And, okay. Now, Izzy, I did more than just watch the fights. I did more than just watch the fights. I took every factor in going into those fights. And this is how I'm going to break it down. Now, I'll admit, when I watched the fights, I love MMA to the point where I learned the rules in and out. I know the rules in and out. I know the scoring criteria for the UFC. I know how it's scored. I know it's a 10-point must system. And I know that damage trumps all. Immediate damage trumps accumulative damage too. It goes effective striking, effective grappling, octagon control, and then effective octagon control, effective aggression. Obviously, it goes down if that's even, and it just goes down until somebody wins it. If not, it's a draw. The round's a draw. Now, right, so in their first fight, I've seen that a lot of people who used to kickbox and a lot of people who are massive fans of that sport, like I'm a massive fan of MMA, a lot of them know the scoring criteria, and according to the scoring criteria, Adesanya should have been given the decision for that first fight. I'll accept that. If that is the scoring criteria, I'll accept it. Adesanya should have won the first fight, but they gifted it to Pereira. There's a lot of things people ain't taking into account in these two fights. Israel, so based off of these scoring criterias, then Israel was winning the second fight before Alex Pereira caught him with that beautiful combo and knocked him out with a left hook. Now, there's a lot of things that people ain't taking into consideration. These two fights, Israel was winning, but Israel was a credentialed kickboxer with massive amount of experience, especially in China and stuff like that, right? Now, this is where Izzy, I've done more than just watch the fights. I've researched everything about your two fights. And not only that, I've also researched both of your careers after your first and second fight. Right. So, I'm going to get this going, right? Get a bit more light on the subject because I couldn't really see much. But yeah, my PC was on sleep. But yeah. Right. The first fight. Adesanya should have been given the decision, right? But what people ain't taking into account. In that first fight, Alex Pereira had 5 kickboxing matches before this fight. He had 5 kickboxing matches with not that much experience. And he held his own and was extremely aggressive against a guy who's considered to be the gatekeeper of that division in Glory. Now, what I mean by that is Adesanya wasn't as successful as you might think in kickboxing. He was elite, top of the top, but he was a top 10 guy. Every time he would get to a number one contenders fight, he would lose that fight and then not be able to get the title shot. And this happened a lot of times in his career. Now, after that first fight, obviously Izzy went on to do his own thing, just keep fighting. Alex Pereira, on the other hand, he was suffering from a lot of problems in their first two fights. Now, Alex Pereira, in their first two fights, was an alcoholic with no direction in his life. And he was really suffering, let's just say. And he was extremely new to kickboxing. Like I said, 5 or 6 fights into his career. And that's basically the story of their first fight. But the second fight, he was still an alcoholic. And there was a lot more factors going into the second fight. 2 big factors going into that fight. Well, 3 big factors. No, well, 4, technically. He's an alcoholic, no direction in his life, right? He came into that second fight coming off of a KO loss. He'd just been KO'd in his last fight. He was 7 months inactive coming into that fight, which is a big, big deal in kickboxing. Kickboxers are extremely active. They like a lot more than MMA. Most of the time, they're like a good. They're a good. They usually fight like every 2 to 3 months, something like that. I'm sorry, I just booted up a PC, but for some reason the mouse. Oh, I need to get a new PC, man. Why not working? Great. Anyway, the reason I wanted my PC is because I wanted to talk about the names that were beaten and stuff like that. But obviously, I can't go off of that. My mouse ain't working. I can't even load up my PC. Great. Anyway, I guess I'm fixing it after this video. But yeah, going into that fight, like I said, he was 7 months inactive too. And on top of that, he was suffering from a big injury going into that fight. And he took it on a week's notice. Week's notice, coming off a KO loss, 7 months inactive, massive injury. Still new to kickboxing. And in that fight, he held his own in the first 2 rounds, I'd say. Definitely held his own. Did extremely well. Got rocked a few times, and Izzy even got a standing 8 count in their fight. Oh, my mouse is back all of a sudden. Great. But yeah, Izzy even got a standing 8 count. And in the 3rd round, he was doing his thing. And as he pressured Pereira backed up, rocked, came in with a combo, landed a left hook, put him out. And these are factors you've got to take into this fight. The fact that he took this fight on a week's notice, new to the sport, coming off a KO loss, massive injury, 7 months inactive, and he still KO'd you. And this is where I get into the mental edge of this. Now, after that fight, Izzy quit kickboxing and he went into MMA. Alex Pereira stayed in kickboxing. And he improved so much that, he became the first ever Glory 2-time kickboxing champion. He went on to beat the guy that beat him beforehand and had beaten Adesanya, and then he went out there and dominated him and won the belt. Then, I should be able to get the names up now. This PC is so slow. Oh, it's old. Come on. But yeah, and he beat somebody in his weight class for the belt, and then he defended it, and then obviously he went up in weight and destroyed the guy the weight class above, became a 2-weight world champion. His last fight in kickboxing he did lose, but it was a very controversial decision in which everybody thought that he should have won based on the criteria. And that happened a year and 2 months ago, exactly. Israel Adesanya quit kickboxing 5 years ago. This is a big deal. Now, I got my PC to finally load up. Kickboxing record, right, so look. come on. Bro, this PC is unbelievably slow. Alright, can I see his kickboxing record? Right. So, his first 3 kickboxing fights, he fought Cesar Almeida, Dustin Jacoby, Shahak Papran, and then he lost to Artem Levin, Jason Wilness, Quillam Attorney. He then beat Marcelo Cruz, Israel Adesanya, Marcus Vinigas, and sorry, right. Well, they got the fucking thing mixed around then. Right, yeah, there we go. Artur Kayshenko. That's who he got knocked out before he took it on a week's notice against Adesanya. He then beat Burm Rama, lost to Yoshiri Belagori by decision. And then where's the one where he beat? Oh, I don't know. Right. He beat Artem Vakotov by split decision, then lost to him by majority decision in the next fight, which everybody thought that he won, right? So after that fight, he then went on to MMA. A year and 2 months ago, he was basically the best kickboxer in the world. Now, that holds credit in the fact that Adesanya quit kickboxing 5 years ago. It makes a difference. And the fact is, right, out of both of them, I think that the person that's made the most improvement and has become the better striker, in my opinion, is Alex Pereira. I think he's become the much better striker. And he's got a mental edge going into this fight, because what's also helped me with this pick is that I've just seen the press conference and Adesanya looks rattled. He's continuously talking about this army that you got behind him and stuff like that, and Alex Pereira just straight up said, "You're alone and you can't get out of this," basically. And I generally think that he's out to kill, and I don't see a way where Adesanya will knock him out. And I genuinely think that the way that they've improved, in a way, I think that Alex Pereira's evolved to be the better striker, and I don't see Adesanya grappling with him. And even if I do, I don't see him doing anything, being able to take him down. And even if he does, what's he going to do on top? I don't see him doing much. I mean, it's just one of those. But, like, I think that the mental edge is so great that Adesanya gets emotional as fuck as soon as this is brought up. And the way that I think Pereira's going to win is that I generally think that Pereira's going to get him timid as soon as the fight starts. I think he's going to be genuinely timid, and he's not gonna want to engage. He's going to do his usual, because Adesanya's already backtracked on his horror movie. He said that he's going to knock him out, make sure he's in view when he's out cold. And now he's already backtracked and said, "Oh, well, if I have to, though, I'll leg kick him for 25 minutes and run away." Really? Not going to work against Pereira. Not going to work. Pereira, there's too many openings, and he will catch Adesanya, and he will slump him against the cage in the 3rd round. That's how I see it happening, guys. And the thing is, take this into account. A week's notice, alcoholic, massive injury, coming off a KO loss, inactive, and he still KO'd him and held his own in the 1st round, and for the majority of the 2nd round before the 10-8, the 8 count. Think about that for a second, and the fact that how much he's improved, and the fact that Adesanya hasn't really looked the same since the Costa fight. And I get it, his guy knows back. Well, I say since the Blachowicz fight he doesn't look the same, and I get it, his guy knows back like it was there against Costa. I completely understand that, but Alex Pereira's probably on the sauce as well. He's massive, and Izzy's now fighting a guy who's taller than him, because Izzy's not 6'4". He's fighting a guy that's taller than him, and a guy that's going to give him a lot of problems as an improved striker that's already KO'd him. I see this a 3rd round KO. Like I said, you don't have to take my advice, but that's what I see. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Good luck betting and stuff. Be safe with that shit. If you're new, please like and subscribe. I appreciate every single new people that come in. I appreciate you all, every single one of you. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This is Keep It Real MMA. I keep it real for a reason. I love you so much, guys. See you guys in the next video. Peace.